While a lot of churches shut down, you and your leadership team decided to still have church. If the world is saying we should shut down of 250 or more, why did we at Lawson Grove decide to have church? What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Anthony ONeal, and you are at the table with your boy. Man, it's been a crazy week, and I am so grateful because I have one of my spiritual leaders, Pastor John Faison from the Lawson Grove Baptist Church here in the Nashville, Tennessee, and Franklin area. I am a part of the Franklin crew. We're in the movie theater. With everything that's going on in the world today, I wanted to bring you in and just have a conversation about where we are, especially here in Nashville, Tennessee. We've been through a lot. You know, we just had a tornado here about a couple of weeks ago, and then right after the tornado, out of nowhere, this virus just hits us. I got to ask you a question, though.
Sure.
While a lot of churches shut down, you and your leadership team decided to still have church. If the world is saying we should shut down of 250 or more, why did we at Lawson Grove decide to have church?
Well, first, man, let me say thank you.
Oh, man.
For the invite. I appreciate the opportunity to come and share.
Yes, sir.
We decided to make the choice to go ahead with worship to provide some normalcy to folks who all week have been questioning, wondering, news is circling, a lot of hysteria around what's happening, what's going to happen. I pastor a predominantly African-American church.
Yes, sir.
The predominantly African-American church has been known for since its inception as a place of encouragement for African Americans, but also a space of information.
Okay.
It is a space where people come to not only get inspired, but also informed, right? So keeping in mind that function of our space and our institution.
Inspiration and information.
Inspiration and information.
Okay.
We wanted to make sure that we provided our folks with the information they needed to be able to respond to it. And our greatest gathering opportunity is during that time. We also decided that people needed to have their faith encouraged and not their fear stoked. We have a lot of folks, particularly seasoned folks, who may not have technology at their hands, may not be aware of the options that they have, or they may not even be computer savvy. Okay. So we're a multi-generational church. So from 9 months to about 95 is the range of folks that attend our church.
Okay.
And so while the digital capacity is there, there's a range in our demographic that won't be reached through the digital capacity.
Gotcha.
And so we've got seniors whose social calendar and social scheduling and normalcy is built around church.
Yeah.
They look forward to Sunday because it's the only time they have interaction with other people. Family has passed away. Friends are older. Children live in different spaces, live out of town, and they're here by themselves. And so the church becomes that spot where they not only get this encounter in this space where they can connect with God, but they also get to see their friends. Yeah. They get to hear from their pastor. They get a hug from a neighbor. It is social interaction that they don't necessarily always have. Yeah. And so they look forward. They plan their week around worship service. Yeah. Right? So while we have the capacity to reach those who can be digitally touched, there's a group that can only be socially touched. And so we wanted to be sensitive to that group as well.
So there was this thing going around on social media. I wanted to give you the opportunity to represent for us, our church, and then just all the other senior pastors. They felt as if we had church, not for inspiration, not for information, but for money. That the predominantly African-American church needed more money and that we can't survive without the offering. How do you feel about that?
Let me say, I can't speak for every senior pastor.
Gotcha.
I can only speak for me.
Speak for you.
We can miss some Sundays and be all right.
Amen.
Let me first say that.
I just need to hear that. I need to hear that, man. To be a member there, I'm about to be like, oh, Lord.
No. This weekend's response was not a financial choice.
That's good.
It was a faith choice.
Faith.
It was a way to encourage and inspire people to say, hey, we're coming together. First of all, I kind of got a feeling this might be our last chance.
This Sunday coming up?
This past Sunday.
Okay.
May have been our last chance to really do this. Yeah. I'm prior military.
I got you.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Military intelligence was my branch.
So
looking at kind of the indicators that we see and the stuff that's happening around the country, this might be.
How
have been our
long do
last
you
time.
think we're going to be out?
I have no clue. But in response to things like this, lockdowns usually happen.
Yeah.
And with all of the leanings, we seem to be heading that way. So providing a space where people could come and get normalcy.
Yeah.
People could come and get reminded that with all the news that you've heard this week, here's the news we really stand on, right? The news you heard yesterday will change today.
Yeah.
But the news that we present, the word of God, is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore.
That's good.
I want you building your life on this foundation. We want you building your life on this kind of ethos so that when the world gets crazy, you've got something to hold on to.
I love it.
And sometimes it's not just saying it. Sometimes it's creating the space. Now, we took the precautions. There's a video on our website. There's a video on all of our social media where I kind of took about 4 minutes to just break down and tell you all the precautions we took. We suspended handshakes. We suspended hugs. We didn't even pass the bucket for offering.
Because we like shaking hands.
Oh, we love it. We love it. We absolutely love it. But we suspended passing the bucket. So if you were giving tangibly with envelopes, you drop those in the bucket on the way out. Nobody passed anything. We encouraged and appreciate online giving. Between services, we had a team deployed, touch points and sanitizing. We did a deep cleaning Saturday and did another deep cleaning today. So we've done all the steps that we can possibly do. But man, at the end of the day, nothing is 100%.
Yeah.
And if you think it is, then your faith is in the wrong place in the first place. So we're going to do what we can, but we trust God to do what we can.
So, Pastor, before we move on and get into something a little bit deeper, I wanted to...
Deeper than this?
Yeah, we want to get deeper, man. Because you hit me up about something a couple of weeks ago. So, when you come to the table, we got to have a real conversation.
It's all good.
To that young millennial watching right now, they are a hourly employee. Yeah. They're experiencing something that they've never experienced and they didn't see this coming. From a spiritual perspective, what can you give all of us right now who are questioning our faith in God, questioning what's going on? Is God sending us a message? Is this the end times? What's your spiritual advice with everything going on right now?
Well, man, I'm a Bible guy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm rooted in Scripture. I preach. I'm an expository preacher, which means I preach line by line.
Line by line.
It's where I find my encouragement and my strength. So
and
if
I took one of your sermons too. Just
help yourself. Help yourself, man. Listen, they all borrow. It's the same book. It's all good. So when I seek to encourage others, that's where I start. That's where I sit. Heaven and earth's going to pass away.
Yeah.
Flowers going to wither, leaves going to fade, God's word's going to stand forever.
Yeah.
So yesterday, man, was Philippians chapter 4, verses 4 through 9. Paul tells the church at Philippi, an interesting church, right? A smaller church, not as large as the other spaces. When you lived in Philippi, you were a Hebrew citizen, but you were also considered a Roman citizen. So the Hebrew population wasn't even big enough to build a synagogue in that space.
Yeah.
Yet this small church does amazing things that Paul writes this letter to really commend them on.
Yeah.
He writes this letter to commend them on sending gifts to him to help with his expansion of his missionary journeys. He encourages them and applauds them for sending gifts to Jerusalem, the highest rate of the church with the highest level of persecution at this time.
Yeah.
So they're small. They don't feel like they can do much, but they're making a big impact.
Yes, sir.
And so he tells them, listen, keep your faith. Stay encouraged. He tells them, don't worry about anything. Pray about everything.
Yeah.
Tell God what you need and thank him for what he's done.
Yeah.
That's verse 6.
Yeah.
Verse 7 says, and then the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will keep your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. So here's what I told them and here's what I tell you.
Yeah.
First thing you got to do, if you're going to make it in this time and keep your peace, regardless of where you find yourself, whether you are single, millennial, hourly, or you are elderly, living on Social Security, or wherever you sit in between.
Yeah.
Everybody needs the same approach.
Yeah.
And that is to first prioritize worship. That does not mean prioritize the coming together collective of worship on Sunday. Worship is this idea of elevating God as preeminent above anything and everything else. Yeah. So even in spaces like this, I've got to prioritize putting God at the center and the vertex of my entire life, that everything else revolves around that. The next step is to push out worry. You can't stop worry from visiting your house,
Yeah.
but you can make sure it doesn't become a resident.
Come on, man.
You can't stop it from showing up,
Come on.
but you can decide what you're going to entertain.
Yeah.
So you got to push out worry. Paul says, don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
Man, worry is a cruel waste of time.
Yeah.
It changes nothing, but it ruins everything.
Yeah.
Worry is putting on your shoulders what's out of your hands.
That's good.
It's paying rent on a house you don't even live in.
Ah.
Most of the stuff that we worry about never happens and never will occur.
Yeah.
But we let a ghost terrorize us and traumatize us. So when worry comes, I gotta deal with it. Now here's the key. I can't kick it out
Yeah.
and not put nothing in its place.
There you go.
Right? So what do I do? Well, the text says, don't worry about anything, pray about everything.
There you go.
So peace then is not the opposite of worry. Prayer is.
Woo. Prayer is the opposite of worry.
Prayer is what I put into place in those moments when I'm attacked
That's good.
and inundated with this intense hysteria and panic.
Yeah.
I got to have a prayer life, man.
Yeah.
Prayer goes places I can't go. Prayer does things I can't do. And man, while I'm doing that, I'm waiting for God to respond, but I also need a good memory.
Yeah.
That I need to learn how to remember. Man, I've been through tough times before.
Yeah.
I've been through moments that didn't make sense at that time before, and God carried me. God provided. God protected. And so I got to make sure that I'm pushing out worry, including prayer. But then the last thing I told him is pay attention to what's worthwhile.
That's good.
That what you focus on is ultimately what you're going to become. What you entertain is what ultimately will happen in your life. If I spend all my time thinking about evil stuff will overcome me. If I spend all my time focusing on what the world says about me, then I will become that because it's my space. It's what I consume. But if I begin to rehearse and remember what God has done for me and what God says about me and make that my portion and that my language and that my meditation, then that's what I become. That's verse 8. Now, brothers and sisters, one final thing. Think on these things.
Yes.
The things that are lovely, things that are good, things that are good report, things that are admirable.
Yeah.
I've gotta stay informed and hear all the news and follow the steps that I need to take.
Right.
But I can't let the news be the only information source I have.
That's good.
That I ought to be balancing that out with what does God say?
Yeah.
And as I balance the two, I'm able to kind of maintain and keep my hope and keep my faith. You need to know that just because we don't know what's going on,
Right.
doesn't mean God doesn't know what's going on.
Come on, man.
God is not scratching his head trying to figure out what are we gonna do.
Well,
No,
exactly.
that's not God's
He
posture,
knows.
right?
Yep.
God knows. So go back to those times and those spaces where you are now didn't even look possible,
Yeah.
and God got you through.
God got us through.
Focus on what you can do, being a good steward of what you have, and man, I'd even say take this area of panic and hysteria and wondering and in many cases hopelessness, and find out where do your gifts fill that void.
Okay.
Because what you may end up discovering is you have an entrepreneurial / spiritual responsibility
Oh,
in this particular space.
now you talking.
What if I got placed into this moment for me to discover that what I've been calling my source really isn't my source?
Ooh.
That maybe there's some stuff in me that I have not tapped into, and maybe not having what I've always had has now pushed me to do things I've never done.
Wait a minute. Now you done started something. Because let's look at it. If you're being sent home for 2 weeks, quarantined, the average person is going to go home and just enjoy that free time. You're saying don't necessarily enjoy the free time. Step back and see, okay, wait, what can I do better? How can I come back stronger?
Absolutely. What have I not paid attention to?
Come on, man.
What gifts have lying dormant because I just didn't have time? I was so busy
Yes.
running the rat race, doing what I got to do,
Yes.
that there might be some space here for me to discover some things that
I was so busy building somebody else's dreams.
Absolutely.
I was so busy accomplishing someone else's vision, which at one season, we all have to do that.
Got to do it.
I have to do it.
Gotta
We
do
all
it.
have to do
Gotta
that.
do it.
But at what point, maybe this is that season God is saying it's time for you to focus on your vision,
Absolutely.
to build something that I can use, that I can build through you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for you to start your own business.
Man, I saw a meme. I don't know how accurate this is, but I
Uh-huh.
saw a meme. You know, memes minister to us from time to
They
time.
sure do.
Man, I saw something that said Sir Isaac Newton was quarantined when he came up with the laws of gravity. I saw something that said Shakespeare was quarantined when he wrote King Lear.
Oh, I don't know if it's true, but
I'm not sure. I don't know. Don't quote me. Don't quote me.
Yeah,
but the point is pretty simple.
Yeah.
That this time is not meant to be wasted. That there's something you're supposed to do with this space.
Now, come on, man. So I seen another meme. Don't know if this is true.
Right.
But I seen another meme saying millionaires out here buying stocks and figuring out how to buy things. Normal and broke people out here buying toilet tissue and milk. So we're not really trying to figure out how do we use this time to go further. We're getting scared. We're going into our shelters and buying up everything to survive for today, but not thinking about tomorrow.
Well,
and God is saying, like, hey, yeah, take care of today, but also think about tomorrow. What can you give to make your tomorrow better?
Yeah.
That's why this guy's my pastor, y'all. I like this. I like the way he's thinking because that's how I'm thinking right now.
Awesome.
Like, it sucks, Pastor. It sucks. I'm single. I'm going home. If we do get quarantined, I'm going to be in the house all by myself. Yeah. And so I've already started praying, like, God, work my mind. Yeah. Show me what can I do to where when I go home, I can still be productive.
Absolutely.
I can still come out stronger. When everyone else is worried, when everyone else is scared, yeah, I'm going to have a little fear in me. I'm going to be real. But at the same time, I'm going to use this season to stand on God's word.
Absolutely.
And like, okay, God, what can I do? When I come back, how can I help more people?
Yes.
How can I grow my team? How can I grow my reach? I have 2 weeks.
Yeah.
My mind is a business.
Yeah.
So it's like, my homegirl Sarah Jake says, mind your business, and I'm like, and I agree with her because your mind is a business.
Right.
And so what am I putting in here? Oh, man, you got me thinking.
Listen, man, my kids just came home last night.
Okay, so from college.
Got 3 kids, man.
Yeah.
2 of them in college.
Yeah.
Out of state. They just got here home last night.
Yeah.
Man, last night, as soon as they got home, we had a family meeting.
Okay.
Because they are home, but they're still in school. So all of their school has gone online.
Online,
until the end of the semester. Well, if you've taken an online class before,
yeah,
it's actually a little bit more difficult,
absolutely,
than it is to be in the classroom.
Because you got to focus.
You got to focus. You got to carve out that space.
Yes.
Because you don't have class time carved out for you, right? So we had to have some what we would call in our family come to Jesus meetings, right?
Let's give it one.
Let's be very, very clear about what's happening here. This is not break.
Yeah.
You still got school.
Yeah.
You still got to take care of that, and we expect you to stay up to beat.
Yeah.
We expect the grades and the performance to stay the same.
Yeah.
We know you're feeling some type of way because you left your friends and you got sadness and all of that. We got it. We're going to process emotions, but emotions don't dictate actions.
Yeah.
We got to figure out what needs to be done. And here's the plan. Here's also the plan. Y'all, we stocked up with groceries. About $325 worth of groceries, right? But now everybody's home. And so everybody's, kind of like, whoa, time out.
Right,
Check this out. We don't know how long this is going to be.
Right.
So I need you to think about somebody else. Have a bowl of cereal, not a box of cereal. You understand? I need you rationing. You understand? I need you taking care of this and being thoughtful and mindful of other folk.
Right.
At the same time, with all of this extra time, I also need, by the end of this week, a plan of what you're going to do to enhance the skills you already have during the time that you're here.
Yeah.
So they've got stuff outlined, and they're working on their projects, and they're working on that stuff. But it's the same concept that if we get 2 weeks and everybody manages and maximizes 2 weeks, dude, we would come back animals.
Yes.
we would come back with all kinds of ideas, all kind of plans, all kind of strategies. And man, here's, again, I stand on the thing that when you do what you can do, God will do what you can.
Yeah.
God will do what you can't do, but God will not do what you won't do.
Ooh, Lord. Man, listen, if you just tuned in, y'all, you are watching, you're watching The Table. We're having a conversation with Pastor Faison, senior pastor, lead pastor of Lawson Grove Baptist Church here in Nashville and Franklin, Tennessee. And we're just having a conversation about the coronavirus and just really giving us some spiritual wisdom on how to really handle what's happening right now. I have a segment here at The Table that I'm always trying to grow our millennials.
Okay.
I have this segment called One Thing You've Learned. And you're a young man, just turned 40.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people watching right now are in between the ages of 18 to about 34.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm always telling them one thing I'm learning from reading a book. This year I started this whole new campaign. I'm going to read 2 books a month.
Awesome.
And I share with them some things
Awesome.
that I'm learning. What is one thing that you've learned, and what is one book you would recommend a young person read?
Wow.
So they're about to have a lot of time on their hands. So when before they watch Netflix, before they jump on IG, before they get on the phone and, gossip about what's happening in America and how we're about to die, what is one book they should read? And then what is one thing that you've learned within your 30s? You just crossed over into your 40s. What would be one thing that you learned in your 30s?
Oh, wow, man. Which one you want first?
Either one.
Okay, let's do the book first.
Let's go.
Man, there's a book that I can attribute to changing my life.
Okay.
And accelerating my relationship with God.
Okay.
It is a book called The Celebration of Discipline.
Ooh.
It's by Richard J. Foster.
Hold on, wait, let me write that down because I haven't heard of that book.
Oh, man. Oh, goodness.
Celebration of...
Probably 25 million copies sold worldwide. Celebration of Discipline.
Okay.
By Richard J. Foster.
And y'all, we're going to put that in the description below, you guys, all right?
Richard Foster is, a Quaker.
Okay.
Like old school faith, but contemplative type faith. Man, this book was written probably in the late 70s, early 80s. But, man, it is down, practical, very, very understandable steps to spiritual disciplines.
Wow.
He breaks down 9 spiritual disciplines in that book. And man, they're the ones you expect: the discipline of prayer, discipline of meditation, discipline of joy. But then there are the ones you don't expect: the discipline of silence, the discipline of solitude, the discipline of celebration. How these disciplines really help shape and curate a spiritual life. Man, I've known Jesus Christ. I embraced Christ in 1994.
Wow.
Bishop Gus.
Yeah.
1994, when I was 14.
One of my mentors.
Yeah, man. I've known Christ for a long time. Let me take it back. I've been a Christian for a long time.
Gotcha.
I've not known Christ for a long time.
I feel you on that.
Right? I got sent to Iraq in 2006 to serve in the military.
Yeah.
2006, 2007. Man, I went to Iraq in love with ministry, in love with what I do. I left Iraq in love with God. There's a difference. What happened in Iraq was I developed a devotional life. I didn't have language for it. I didn't have process and formula for it. I just knew that my prayer life needed to increase because I was in a war zone.
Yeah.
Just kind of made sense,
Let's
right?
just be real. Yeah.
Very utilitarian. You understand? But man, when I came back, I got introduced to this book, and this book started to give me, feet and hands to what I've been conceptualizing, what I've been doing in Iraq. And man, this book changed my life. I read it every January.
Wow.
And have since 2008.
Every January.
It orders my year. Because, man, if you can order the internal life, then the external response is really simple. Too many of us are costuming and elaborately decorating the external response, but not doing the internal work.
Yeah.
This book forced me to do the internal work. And it's in language that anybody can understand.
So like an 18-year-old will understand it.
Man, I promise you, it'll change your life. First line of that book.
Yeah.
Richard Foster says, superficiality is the curse of this age. That's the first sentence. Superficiality is the curse of this age. We do not need smarter people or wiser people. He says we need deeper people.
Deeper people.
That's the first paragraph. And so, punch you in the mouth from the first read, and then proceed to reconstruct your life for you.
That's it.
It's an amazing book.
Celebration of Discipline.
Yes.
All right. One thing you learned quickly in your 30s.
In my 30s. Wow. I've been married my entire 30s.
Your entire 30s. When did you get married?
18.
18?
I don't advise it.
Wait. Is your wife watching this?
She doesn't advise it either. Oh man, this might be another show.
I gotta bring you back on
this
for
might
another
be another
show.
Something else.
You got married at 18, and if you would do it again, you would not do it again.
Sophomores in college, we got married.
You were married the same person, just not at 18.
Yeah.
I love your wife. She's so cool.
Listen, she's amazing.
No, I've met her one time, and
listen,
I'm like, that's one cool.
That's my good.
When I find a woman, she got to sit down with your wife. I mean, I just love her spirit, man.
That's my lady. That's my lady. But we had to grow up. See, when you get married that young, you you're still growing up,
Yeah.
and then you end up growing apart.
And then you got to come back together.
We were just fortunate enough to stay together long enough to be able to come back together. I don't advise anybody to get married in college.
So, am I late at 35?
Absolutely not.
See, some pastors would say I'm screwed because I'm not with someone at 35.
Absolutely. Says who? Tell me the book.
Oh.
Show me the manual where you got to be married at 35.
Man, that's good.
Show me that.
That's good.
I'm missing something.
Hey, man.
Would you rather be single and productive and happy, or married, frustrated and angry?
So is that one thing you learned?
No, that's not one thing I learned. Here's one thing I learned. You're show me your friends, I'll show you your future. That's what I learned.
That's what you learned.
That's what I learned. I think we don't give enough attention to the people who share space with us and do life with us.
That's good.
And in your 30s, man, you start to discover. See, in your 20s, you're relational.
Yeah.
But in your 30s, man, you start making these long-term decisions and long-term kind of moves and moments that the circle matters.
Yeah.
The circle matters.
Yeah, it does.
So who you put in your space, who regularly becomes that iron that sharpens you and you sharpen them is absolutely vital. So your friends dictate your future, period.
Yeah. He's in my circle, y'all. I listen to this guy every single Sunday. And honestly, Pastor, your word has not just changed my life, but it has helped bring a lot of clarity to things that's going on in my life. So
God be praised.
I thank you for that. I have a fun segment, man. We've talked about a lot of deep stuff. My producer, Connor, is the man. He pretty much leads and does all the stuff. I just do the easy stuff and just had a conversation.
Okay.
So we have this thing called Save or Cave. He's going to ask us a question.
Oh, wow.
And you got to be honest. Okay, remember your church and your wife is watching this. Connor, hit us, man.
All right. Well, you guys actually brought it up a little bit, talking about the toilet paper shortages around here because of the coronavirus. So we're going to incorporate that a little bit.
Oh, boy.
So would you rather save money by having no toilet paper for 1 week or having no hot water for 1 month? And the viewers can vote right here as well. So, so that's no toilet paper for a week or, ice cold showers for a month.
So no toilet paper for 1 week or ice cold showers for a whole month. So I still get a hot shower.
No wet wipes either.
No wet wipes. That's fine.
I'm good. Mine is easy.
No
toilet paper.
I'm with him.
No toilet paper.
No toilet paper.
Absolutely.
Back in the days, they didn't have toilet paper.
Listen, man, I'm military. I've been without toilet paper before. We make this thing work. You understand?
I was Air Force. You know we had toilet paper when I was there.
Oh, of course y'all did. Probably had recliners and all other kind of stuff.
Yo, I'm going with no toilet paper. Because if I got hot water, I could jump in the shower and clean myself.
Absolutely. And sanitize.
What
good is toilet paper with no sanitization? Walk away.
Can we, no, I'm just playing. Y'all, listen, Pastor, man, I know we're doing our social distancing, so I give you some love from afar. Appreciate you, sir. And thank you so much for coming by, you guys.
Honored to be here, man.
I'm going to drop all of Pastor's information in the description below. I want you to go check him out on IG. Check out the church. Amazing, amazing, amazing church. I've had an opportunity to go to a lot of churches, and this is the place that I've decided to call home. A lot of great pastors out there who I know personally. But this is a great guy, young guy, and that's one reason why I'm there. He's young, relevant, and I still feel as if he's my pastor. And that's what I need. And so I'm going to put his information in the description below. Go check him out on social. Follow him. Get the wisdom. And you guys, will see you on the next conversation at the table next week. Until then, we're praying for you. And just make all the right decisions right now while all this stuff is going on. We'll see you next week. Peace out.